You all in this third training program on CFA on organic farming. So friends, we have with us very learned person today for his important talk. He's none other than Dr. N Ravisankar ji. He is basically the architect behind designing this CFA on organic farming. And he is serving as principal scientist in charge coordination unit and looking after two important schemes of this institute. And those schemes are a All India Coordinated Research Project on Integrated Farming Systems and All India Network Program on Organic Farming. So on behalf of all the participants, I welcome you, sir, in this training program. And friends, the topic of his talk is very important, and as you all know that certification is one of the important aspects of organic farming. We have the produce in our hand, but how to get a remunerated price and how to get more benefits out of that product. So for that purpose, we are supposed to have certification. So this very important topic will be covered by sir along with the PGS standards. So I welcome sir and request you to please start delivering your talk.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Hope I am audible.
Yes, sir. You're clearly audible, sir.
And my slides are visible.
It's visible now.
It is in presentation mode also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So very good morning to all the participants and also all the scientists who are participating from our institute and also Sadarani madam. I will be discussing with you today on organic agriculture standards and also the certification methods. This is about the general information about standards and certification methods. In the subsequent classes, we will be also giving an expert lecture from the National Center of Organic Farming. They will be teaching you how to form the groups, how to get it registered, all those things, practical aspects will also be covered in the subsequent lectures. I want that this lecture to be of more interactive rather than just I will deliver the lecture. I would like to know from some of the participants, what do you understand by the standards? Why we need the standards especially in the organic farming? Can anybody inform why we need to have a standards? Anyone of you can unmute and then tell.
To meet the international standards.
Huh?
To meet the international requirements, customers' requirements.
Okay, then anybody else?
To keep the quality of the product.
To meet the?
To keep the quality of product.
To keep the quality of the product. Okay, then?
The standards is spurious products.
Huh?
To identify the spurious products.
To identify the?
Spurious products.
Okay, spurious products.
Sir,
okay.
Good morning.
Yeah, please. You can tell your opinion. Why we need
to
standards?
Improve the quality and durability of the product.
What? Your voice is not clear. Okay, anybody else?
The standard requires to increase the quality and the durability of the product.
Okay, then? Anybody else?
Yes, sir. Standards are required to meet the certification agency's requirement, and certification is required to build a trust between the consumer and the producers.
Yes, you are correct. Then what is the difference between the standards and certification? Why these two things are there separately? Can anyone explain?
Standards are just certification means they have checked that they have check that whether they have maintained the standard or not. Certification is after standard. Certification come after standards, maintaining of standards.
Okay. Then what is the standards we are having? What is the name of the standards which we are following in India for organic agriculture?
NPOP, sir. NPOP, National Program for Organic Production.
That is National Program for Organic Production, under which National Standards for Organic Production. NSOP.
Yeah,
That is the standards which we are adopting, and our standards are having equivalence with whom?
European Union.
European Union and other.
United States, sir. As well as United States. USOP, sir. United States.
United States.
Not
and
United
also,
States, I think.
And also Switzerland. Then many
Yes.
countries, for that matter, many countries, our standards are having the equivalent with many countries. Okay, I think one person only answers. The remaining all others they are not interacting. So, just why these two things are totally different. Standards and certification is totally different. In a simple way, if you want to express the standards, it is a prescribed techniques or the prescribed methods by which a particular production system has to be done at the farmer's field. Okay, so this is what the standards. Standards means, in a simple term, you can understand there are certain practices which are directly permitted, certain practices are restricted, and certain practices are not permitted. Okay, so standards for organic agriculture is categorized into three categories. One is the permitted, restricted, and the third one is the, what is the third one? Not permitted. Okay, so for each and every activity, starting from the seeds, starting from the weed management and also the pest management, you have got a processing, all the whatever the process which are involved in the organic agriculture or the farming, whatever the inputs which we are going to use for the production of the crops or the livestock, or for that matter honeybee, the inputs are classified into three categories. Permitted inputs means those inputs which you can very easily directly you can apply without the consultation of anyone. Okay, the second category of input is that it is a restricted inputs. The restricted inputs are at certain conditions, like suppose some incidents of pest and disease happened, so we cannot ask the farmers to lose the crop. Okay, so at that time, or maybe at the initial stage, the nutrient deficiency there in the soil, with the immediate switch over to the organic farming, they may not be able to meet the requirement of the nutrients for the crops. So in that particular case, certain inputs are restricted category that can be very easily used in the farm. But for using that particular restricted inputs, you need to get the permission from the before application, you need to get the permission from the accreditation agency. There are several agencies are there that I will explain. These accreditation agencies are identified by the APIDA. There are 28 accreditation agencies as of now, out of which 14 are state government owned accreditation agencies and remaining are the private accreditation agencies. So these agencies can be approached. You can approach them and they will be the certifying agency for your organic farm or the product. And then those agencies, you have to get the permission for use of the restricted inputs. Okay. But the third category of inputs, which are classified as the not permitted, those type of inputs should not be used. The third category of inputs are mostly of the synthetic inputs. Synthetic inputs, which are derived from the chemicals, chemical oriented, which is having the long duration of residues in the ecosystem or in the soil. So those inputs are classified as the not permitted inputs. So hopefully you got these three type of, so whenever you talk about the standards, you should have this knowledge that the inputs which are to be used for the organic agriculture are classified into three categories: permitted, restricted, and then not permitted. Okay. So now I will ask you one question. How many of you or anybody can you please inform whether we can use the hybrid seeds under the organic farming, in the organic farming?
Yes, we can.
We can use, sir.
Yes.
Use, sir.
We can use hybrid seeds. So how many
Without-
of you don't
without
agree?
chemical treatment. Without chemical treatment.
Huh?
Without chemical treatment, we can use hybrid seeds.
Without chemical treatment, we can use the hybrid seeds. Why? Suppose in case of indigenous varieties also, if chemically treated seeds are there, whether we can use it?
No.
No. If
Chemical treatment.
No, sir. No,
it
sir.
is
Not allowed.
traditional variety or hybrid variety, chemically treated seeds cannot be used. Okay.
Yes.
So many people, they think that hybrids should not be or cannot be used in the organic farming. Hybrids can be used in the, hybrids are allowed under the organic farming. Okay. The next question is, okay, well, we are saying that only chemically untreated seeds should be utilized for the organic production system. And I'm just telling some example of this one. There are several options which are given in the standards, which allows the farmers to go for a multiple choice of practices. So one example I am taking about the seed. Okay. If you look at the seed, suppose the standard says that chemically untreated seeds only to be utilized. There are two choices available. One choice is the seeds which are produced from the organically grown fields can be used in the organic farming. The second is if organically produced seeds are not available, then chemically untreated seeds can be utilized. This is the second choice. Okay. And the third choice is also there. Third choice is also there in the standards. What is that? Can anyone say? If suppose the farmer is not having the organically produced seeds, the farmer, the chemically untreated seeds are not available. Means only chemically treated seeds are available with him. So whether how he will go for the organic farming? Can anyone tell? If suppose these two options are not available to the farmers, he is having only the chemically treated seeds. So how to do that? The standards, how to start with the organic farming? Can anyone say?
Sir,
Any option is there?
the seeds has to be washed thoroughly, and we can use that seeds.
Yeah, you are correct. You are very correct. If chemically untreated seeds are not available, thus in the standards, the option is given very clearly that the chemically treated seeds to be washed, shed dried, and then that can be used in the first season. Later on, the organic farm should develop their own seed production plan. Okay. So this is a kind of standards or the practices which are recommended for the organic agriculture systems. Then when we look at the core pillars of the organic farming, there are four major things which you need to understand. One is you must have a thorough knowledge on the standards. Then only you will be able to get the certification. That I will cover certification part little later. There are two kind of certifications are available in India. One kind of certification is the third party certification, which is done by the APIDA, especially for the export purpose. The second kind of certification is the PGS certification, that is participatory guarantee system of certification, wherein group of farmers can join together and if they adopt the particular standards, then they can also get the certification through the PGS system. So these two type of certification systems. So here, very, very important point is the first one is you must have the knowledge about the standards. Then it is not that standards alone will help you to increase the production. Along with the standards, you also need to understand the technological packages for each and every crop or every component of the farming, organic farming. So the technology packages also very, very important within the ambit of the standards. And the third one is the certification along with the regulatory systems. Now the regulatory system is also in place for the organic agriculture. So that also needs to be followed. Then the fourth important pillar is the marketing network. That also you need to understand. So all these four pillars will be covered during this 9 days training program, followed by this 6 days practical training. And how many of you have visited this particular site, and then how many of you have gone through the standards? Can anyone tell what is the important point which are there in the organic crop production, or the how as a CFA, like certified farm advisor, how you can play a role in the certification or in the promotion of the organic farming? Can anyone say? Anybody you can respond.
We can make that cluster or a group of farmers. Those are interesting for organic production. And then we can guide them regarding the practices and about certification.
Okay, then anybody else?
Yeah, we ourselves can produce agriculture organic inputs.
Yeah, organic inputs. Then see, organic agriculture, earlier we had a standards only for the crop production. Okay, you got the point. Earlier this organic agriculture was when the NPOP was introduced in the 2000, 2001 and 2002. This was covered with only the crop production. Now we have the standards for almost all the categories which are there in the agriculture. Like livestock, we have a standards, we have a poultry, we have a standards for the production, processing sector. We also have the standards for the beekeeping and also apiculture. Then you have got a standards, organic farming standards for the aquaculture, then food processing, animal feed processing, because animal feed also it is a growing, because wherever the organic livestock production is there, they need that organic feed also. So that also it is there, or animal feed processing and handling. Then mushroom, we have the standards. Then seaweed and aquatic plants, greenhouse crop production, like protected cultivation also, these standards are available. So where you can find these standards? Anybody, have you downloaded these standards? Have you gone through the standards? Any of you? Nobody is responding. Mute all kar diya kya?
No, sir. They can unmute themselves.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. For livestock. Yes, sir. For livestock, I have downloaded.
Okay. Just about 1
I have
minute.
gone through also.
No, as a CFA, certified farm advisor, you have a very important role in this situation. Okay. I'm just clicking here. Okay. This link I'm clicking here. So this will open the standards. I am just showing. You can also download this particular document, wherein very clearly it is mentioned why the standards are there, what type of inputs to be used under the organic farming, and what type of inputs are restricted and what type of inputs are permitted. Okay, here this is the NPOP manual, National Program for Organic Production manual. It is from the Department of Commerce, that is Ministry of Commerce and Industry, which is handling the third-party certification and also the export-oriented promotion of the organic agriculture in India. If you look at here, it is having the different chapters. There are 8. This one appendix are there for different categories of this one. And just I want to, your course is very, very important. After completing this particular course, you can act as a consultant to this third-party accreditation agencies. There is a provision there is a provision in this. If you click this chapter 1, they have given all the details. It is opening. इसमें नहीं आ रहा हूँ. नहीं क्यों नहीं आ रहा हूँ उसमें? Whether this is visible, this chapter 1?
No, sir. No, sir.
क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? अच्छा, एक मिनट. Maybe my link probably that is the problem. Now I have to share. So now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the link through which you can get the details. Okay. And here, if you click on the chapter 1, there is a details. What is the accreditation body, and all those things. Here, only one thing I want to highlight here. Rest of the things you will be knowing. There is a provision for the consultancy. Okay. Consultancy shall mean the advisory service for organic operations independent from the inspection and certification procedures. Okay. So after completing this particular course of certified farm advisors on organic farming, you can act as a consultant to these third-party accreditation agencies and also those farmers who want to have this type of organic certification systems. So you have got a very good opportunities once you go through this particular course, and also if you know all the standards, this one in detail. Okay. So this particular document you can download, and then you can see this particular this one. Okay. So this is one thing you must understand about these standards. Okay. Then why GM crops are not allowed? Can anyone say why the GM crops are not allowed under the organic farming? Please unmute and then speak. Yeah, please tell. Tamil Mani. Unmute and then speak. Why GM crops are not allowed?
Sorry, endotoxins are there, sir. In GM crops. Endotoxins, some endotoxins.
Okay. Then
when GM crops is not going for seed production, sir.
Okay, then. So,
sir,
oh yeah, please tell me.
Sir, in organic farming, there is no exploitation of farmers and the buyers also.
Okay.
And in GM crop,
okay,
we are exploiting farmers also and the buyers also.
Okay, you are correct. What I want to convey here is all your points are valid. The main thing is that if you go through the definition of the organic farming definition says that it avoids or largely excludes the synthetics in farming. Okay, avoids or largely excludes synthetics. Since the GM crops are anti-nature and there is no significant, not much evidences to prove that they are safe for soil, human, animals, and environment. There are still reports that due to the GM cotton, the grasses which are there in the cotton field that has been eaten by the animals, and then there was issues related to the fertility. So all these kind of this type of things are published in the public domain, and also the GM crops do not support for the self-sustaining system. When you go for the organic farming, it should be of a self-sustaining systems. The market dependency should be reduced. Okay, for market dependency, not only for the seeds, for the other inputs like nutrient management inputs, pest management inputs, whatever the things. Okay. But in case of GM, we need to depend on the seeds, especially for the companies, they cannot produce themselves. So there is a chance for the farmers have to pay the higher prices. Then still there are some reports, many reports that it can cause the serious diseases in the humans and animals, as I told earlier. So this is what the reason these GM crops are, as on date, it is not allowed under the organic farming. So whatever the things we are recommending as per the standards which we are having equivalence with that of the other countries, are based on the available knowledge and also the available inputs which can sustain the farmers on their own. Okay, so that is why these GM crops are not allowed. Then earlier, so now I will come to the next part of this one. Earlier, anybody can produce the organic and then anybody can sell it in the market. Whether now it is possible, anybody can sell they can grow it as organic and they can sell it in the market. What is your stake on this?
No, sir.
Huh?
No, sir.
Okay, what are all the requirements, pre-requirements? What are all the pre-requirements for selling in the market?
Certification must be there.
Then?
Minimum standards, it should meet.
Okay. The standard certification, then? No, suppose if I am following the standards, okay, I am
beneficial
having,
for human.
There should be
Beneficial for
number of farmers should be more than 5.
No, that is not a criteria. I am selling to market it as a organic produce in the market. There are two things are very, very important. Okay. One is that particular farmer or the particular commodity should have been covered in either of the standards, either of the certification. That means either third-party certification or under the PGS certification. Okay. This is the one criteria which is mandatory. The second criteria which is mandatory is FSSAI license. That is Food Safety and Standards Authority Act is there in India. So under which also a registration must have been done. These two things are very much essential to sell it as a organic product in the market. So this is also a very, very important regulatory mechanism which we need to adopt. Then you must have in the 2017, because earlier there were a lot of spurious products which were available. Anybody is growing any crop and then applying chemicals, pesticides, fertilizers, they can sell their produce and they have been selling it as a organic produce in the market. But after 2017, if anybody who comes for this one, who is selling the organic product, they must have followed the certification system, either one of the certification system, and also they must have taken this FSSAI license or registration. So that is very, very important, mandatory. Otherwise, they can be penalized. They can be penalized if somebody is selling without these two mandatory requirements. They can be penalized and there can be even jailed also. That provisions are there in this particular regulations and also act. So this is very important. If somebody is selling it as a nature fresh or nature, they are not using it as an organic word, then there is no problem. But if to use the organic word, these two things are mandatory, that you must understand. Then when you compound the standards, there are two set of standards are there. One is the vertical standards, mainly concentrating on the quality parameters, that quality of the raw material which are used for the production of the commodities, that ingredients, then the final processing, even after harvesting of the crops, the final finished product quality also, it is being monitored in the vertical standards. While in the horizontal standards, the safety parameters, there are certain maximum permissible limits of these residues. All those things are taken into consideration, including the labeling. Labeling also, there is a prescribed standards which needs to be followed to get it to sell your commodity in the market. The labeling should have, if it is a labeling, should contain the FSSAI registration number or the licensing number. The labeling should also contain the certification system. Which certification system you are through? That means either it may be a India organic logo, or it may be a PGS green or PGS PGS blue logo, PGS blue logo or PGS green logo. So the either two of these two should be there, either PGS logo with FSSAI license, or either India organic logo with the top the your FSSAI license. So these two are very, very important, mandatory in this one, and these are called this horizontal standards. Then as per this FSSAI regulations 2017, the section 22 has the provision to regulate, manufacture, distribute, sell, or import or even import of the organic foods also covered under the FSSAI now. And as I told earlier, it is notified in the Gazette that either one of the certification systems should be followed to get the FSSAI license. This is very, very important. And from 1st July 2018, all the organic food business operators are required to comply with all these parameters on the regulations. And these PGS standards, both the PGS system of certification as well as the your third-party certification, the standards remain same. The standards, organic standards, it remains same. And in order to avoid the spurious products in the market, there is a organic integrity portal is also there. So by visiting that organic integrity portal also, you can check whether that particular company or the particular person who is selling the product is having this license number, which type of standard is adopting, which type of certification system he is adopting. So all those things can be monitored, or where you can get all those information from that integrity database portal that I will show, that database integrity database portal also, organic, that one. Then for organic food, as per the this FSSAI Act, for organic food, the residues of insecticides shall be 5% of the maximum limits prescribed or the level of quantification, whichever is higher. So this is very, very important. The 5% maximum limit should be less than the 5%. So this is very, very important in order to qualify or in order to get that particular registration, FSSAI registration. And traceability is also very, very important. This traceability mechanism also, it is given nowadays in the both PGS system and also in the third-party certification, wherein barcoding is provided for each and every product or each and every registration or license. And through barcoded system, the traceability is also ensured, where the commodity is produced and where it is processed, where it is sold, how it is packaged. All those things can also be traced through these particular systems. So this is the, once you get the FSSAI license or the FSSAI registration, then you have got a authorization to use this logo of Jevik Bharat in your labeling while selling the organic product. So this type of knowledge needs to be passed on to the farmers. This type of knowledge is very, very, very much lacking among the farmers, because nowadays many of the farmers, they are interested, although they are interested in doing the organic farming, they are not much aware about these type of standards, these type of regulations, and also FSSAI registration or use of this logo, all those things. So this is very, very essential that we must pass on these type of knowledge so that the standards or certification and also the regulatory systems are used thoroughly by the farmers, and they can get the premium price for their producers. So somebody raised the hands, you can ask the question. Who raised the question? Raise the hand. Prakati. You want to ask something? Yes, Prakati. Unmute yourself. Prakati, you want to ask something? You can unmute and then you can speak. Oh, I say then the FSSAI, they have come out with one Indian Organic Integrity Database portal. Okay, this portal, it contains the information on the food standards, what are all the certification process which are available, then food business operators, what is the products they are selling or the geographical areas. You can very easily, you can search. The organic food products may be searched by name of the food and also company also you can search. I will show you this one. This link is this Jevik Bharat FSSAI.gov.in. Okay, if you click on this particular portal, you can check which company is selling what commodity and under which certification system these are given. Okay. Again, I have to share. So now whether this is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, this javikbharat.fssa.gov.in, through which you can check the integrity of the products which are sold in the market. Okay, so here if you visit this particular site, here you can see, here you can select your own state. If I am selecting Karnataka, then you can search the product. What are all the product? If suppose I am just this one, if I am not mentioning the product, then it will give whoever got the FSSAI license and then which system of certification and all those things details are available. And if you see here, Akarka Biohair Private Limited, they have got the license and their license is valid and it is under the NPOP system of certification, and they are selling this type of products under this one. So through which you can find out the different kind of whether this whatever the products which are sold in the market or whether it is all authenticated or not, the integrity of the produce can be checked very easily through this type of this portal. And the farmer who wants to sell their produce, they have to compulsorily, mandatorily, they have to get the registration. And once they get registration or license, automatically their name of the product, through which company they are selling or their own selling, all those details it come to this particular portal through which you can this one. And in Karnataka also, there are two type of certification system. I said to get the license, you need to either one of the system. You can search also under PGS, which are all the companies. Like Aditi Organic Certification Private Limited, Bangalore, it is certified for the under the PGS system. They have got the license. So similarly, there are many things are available. So you can visit and you can get all those things. And I think many of the progressive farmers or the private entrepreneurs who are attending this particular training program, you should visit this particular site and you can get linked with the already registered companies or the registered persons where you can connect your farmers, even the agricultural officers who are in the field. what you have to do, you have to collect, you have to develop the organic cluster by adopting scientific management practices. You connect those farmers to these type of, to go for this type of registration or the getting the license and getting involved into this type of organic certification process by following the standards, regulatory systems. So this is very, very essential. And here the option is also there. You can also search through the company also in your state. What are all the companies which are present in your state can also be identified through this type of integrity database portal like Tamil Nadu. So here you can see there are many companies, because many of the participants are from the Tamil Nadu. So I am just showing this one. So here you can see under which system of certification this particular company is registered and how what are all the products they are selling through this type of organic agriculture systems. So the field is growing. The knowledge which we need to gain is very, very important. And whatever the knowledge which we are having, it should be passed on to the farmers to get the full benefit about the organic farming systems. And the many of the farmers, the major issue, major constraints, whatever the study we have made in different states, it indicates that many of the farmers are having the limitation of marketing. So the marketing problem can be even in the inaugural session also. After inaugural session, when we got the feedback from the participants, some of the participants, they said the marketing is the major problem in the organic farming. But that marketing problem can be very easily solved once you go through these all the standard certification and regulatory systems. So this is very, very important. Okay, then I will share the presentation again. So for getting the FSSA license or the registration, the producers, individual producer or the producer organizations whose annual turnover is up to 12 lakhs is not much regulations are there. So they can very easily get the license without paying any fees and other things. Only they have to apply and they have to get this one. And if the annual turnover crosses then 12 lakhs rupees, then there is a regulations like this one. They have to pay some fees, license fees, and then they have to get the regulations, these licenses or the registration numbers. And this given, this one, the state license is given when the turnover is more than 12 lakhs rupees. FSSA registration license is given when the turnover is less than 12 lakhs. And then central license, for getting the central license means for selling the commodities across India, across the states, the turnover should be above 20 crores. Then they can get the central license also. Then this is the two logos, these certification systems. India Organic is based on the third-party certification system. Then the PGS India Organic is having two type of logos. One is the PGS green, that is during the initial stage, initial conversion period. You can get this immediately accepting for the organic farming promotion. You can get the PGS India green logo. That means once your product is having PGS India green logo, that means your farm is under conversion. And once it is completely converted and you get the certificate, then it is the logo, PGS India Organic logo can be used in the marketing of your producers. Then why we need the guarantee systems or the certifications or the standards? These two are very essential for assuring the guarantee to the customers, especially the consumers, to build the trust among the consumers. The guarantee is very, very important. These type of standards, certification systems ensures the guarantee. Means I suppose if I am purchasing an organic product, by seeing this particular brand or the particular standards and also the logos, FSSA license, I feel that yes, this particular product is produced organically and it is processed organically and I am getting organically. In order to build the trust among the consumers, these type of standards, certification and regulatory systems are very, very essential for this one, for promotion of the organic agriculture. Now I would like to ask one question to the participants, whether this organic agriculture certification is product certification or process certification. Can anyone clarify this?
Sir, process certification.
Process certification.
Process certification. And how many of you say that it is a product certification?
Sir, organic certification is given for production and processing and trading. We can get anyone, sir.
Huh?
We can get production certificate also, sir.
Only organic crop production is valid, sir. Not organic product.
This certification, my question is straight question. Okay, whatever the certification, either PGS or this third-party certification, is given for process or product. Say, for example, tomato is there. Whether the tomato commodity is certified as organic or the process of cultivating the tomato is certified as organic.
Process of certification. Process of cultivation.
Both.
Huh?
Process of cultivation.
Both.
No. It is organically produced. Tomato is not organically organic product. Is not certified as organic product. It is certified as organically produced.
It's a process certificate.
All of you tell your views, then I will share my view. Okay.
Sir, only that the product is certified as organic, not the process.
Okay, then anybody any other view?
Sir, it is not the product, it is the process certification.
Okay, then
process certificate only, sir.
Any other view?
So it is both process certification as well as the product certification, because in the market we are selling it as product certified product, not the process certified.
Okay.
Yes,
so
sir,
now I will
product
clarify. See, Surendran, what do you want to say something?
Before sampling, process certification, sir. After sampling, product certification.
Okay, then see, once you go for the process by which the particular commodity is grown or produced, that qualifies for the certification, not the product per se. Okay, you got the point? We are not certifying the product when the farmer is growing a particular crop. The methods he is adopting to grow that particular crop, which qualifies for the certification. Okay, so this is called the process certification. You must understand there is no product called organic product or the inorganic product. The process by which the crops are grown, that is being certified. So this is a process certification only, not a product certification. Organic agriculture. Okay, so there is no product called organic product, inorganic product, all those things are not available. Don't get confused. It is a process you are adopting to grow without any synthetics. So this is only a process certification. Okay, clear?
Clear, sir. Clear.
Clear. No? So there is no product called organic product, inorganic product, all those things. Okay. So tomato crop, without any synthetics, we are growing the crops that is not having any residues. So that is why it is qualifying for it as a organically grown tomato. You should not say it is a organic tomato. It is a organically grown tomato. Okay. Then why we need the guarantee systems or the certification systems? Once the consumer, many of the consumers, they want a healthy and environmentally sound products, and they are willing to pay the premium prices also. Then these access to the premium price markets, they want a certain kind of a standards. Earlier you must be knowing there was a Agmark was there, so that based on the Agmark, people believe that this is a good quality. So similarly, that type of guarantee system is ensured through this type of certification, labeling, and other regulatory mechanisms. The trust, to build the trust between the producer and consumer, this is very, very important, and that is achieved through these three mechanisms: standards, regulatory certification, and regulatory mechanisms. Then there are three systems of quality guarantee. One is the brand guarantee. Suppose I have developed my own brand, so through my brand also people believe that, like Colgate is there, we believe that it is a good quality. Many people, they believe that it is a good quality. So likewise, you can also build your own brand guarantee by the seller. Then third party certification and also the PGS system. That is the another two systems of quality assurance for the consumers. So all these three things are basically for the building the trust between the producer and the consumer. So this is very, very important. It is the brand guarantee is the assurance given by the seller, and its acceptance solely based on the trust of the consumers. Earlier, it was even many of you must be aware that you know your farmer and you know your product. Know your farmer and know your product. So this was there before 2017. Even many of the peri-urban areas, the farmers used to grow some kind of vegetables. They used to sell to the particular type of commodities. So as a consumer, I know the farmer. As a farmer, he know the consumer. So there was a trust between them. But during this process, the many unwanted things also happened. Many of the people, they have exploited this particular system also. This trust also means they have exploited the consumers by growing the inorganically grown vegetables, and they sold in the market also. So those type of things has affected the growth of this organic agriculture in India. And that is why during the last 3-4 years, the lot of efforts was made for introducing these standards, expanding these standards to the other commodities. Then earlier, the only third-party certification was there, which was high cost, because any of the small and marginal farmers, they cannot afford. They need to spend around 1 lakh to 2 lakh rupees simply to get the certification. So after discussion, we all contributed for development of this PGS system of certification, which is very user friendly, which does not require much of the records. Any of the 4 or 5 farmers, they can join together. They can get it registered through the regional council, and also they can get the certificate without any much cost, incurring the much cost. So this type of development is to build the trust among the consumers, and also ensure the quality of this one. And in case of this one, for the third party certification, this NPOP is mandatory, especially since it is notified under the Foreign Trade and Development Regulation Act. So Foreign Trade Development Regulation Act. So this is mandatory for the third party certification is mandatory. Once you get the third party certification, only you can export your commodities to the other countries. For domestic market, the Agmark India organic based NPOP standards were there earlier, but now it is completely covered under the FSSA license, and also the PGS is there. Then both the third party and certification was having lot of disadvantages, and it was not user friendly for the small and marginal farmers, because it was requiring lot of cost, lot of record maintenance. There was lot of restrictions on the input use, all those things. So this has affected the growth of the organic sector. That is why this PGS participatory guarantee system of certification was introduced in India, and it is based on the NPOP standards only. But here it is the purely based on the participation of the farmers and also the agencies involved in the promotion of the organic farming. So here there is no cost and all it is involved. Only 5 farmers, they can join together, they can register in the PGS portal. That practical class will be given to you in the subsequent classes. During the practical class, you will be given training on the how to create the PGS group and then how to get it registered, how you can link it to the regional council, and many of you also can get the regional council status also, so that you can certify the other farmers. So that details also will be given. Even from the last 4-5 batches, one of the progressive farmer who attended from Haryana, he got the regional council now and he is certifying the other farmers now. So that type of opportunities are also there in this particular one. And there are several advantages of these third-party certification systems over the PGS systems over the third-party certifications. The procedures are very simple, and you need not maintain the records, too much of records. Then all the members are local, are either known to each other, and they build the trust among themselves. So the appraising is done on the same village, and they have the better access for the surveillance, and also the government support is also there for the creation of the PGS clusters in the form of a PKVY scheme, Paramparagath Krishi Vikas Yojana scheme. So although the 2 systems of certification is there, the standards remain same. Only one standard is there, that is NSOP standards, National Standard for Organic Production, wherein the main aim is to avoid the use of synthetics or largely excluding the use of synthetics in the agriculture for maintaining the ecosystem services. So this is the very basic lecture about the standards. What I request all of you to go through the standards manual, which I have shared through the link. You go through it, and if you have any doubt,